Welcome to Reality After Show coverage of.
What? Sorry, go ahead. So I thought you bring us in.
Well, we're off to a great start. I'm Jonny Fairplay. That's Bobby Goodsby. We're just going to talk over each other the entire time, and it'll be good. Who kicked now? Welcome to Reality After Show coverage of Deal No Deal Island. Wow, everyone listening right now is going to be like, "What happened?"
That was totally my fault. When you said, "Okay, you want to bring us in," I thought you meant bring us in and bring us in. So, everybody, go ahead, Jonny.
Oh, I would have had you bring us in, but we just did the exit interview before we did this, in which you're like, okay, I'm going to bring us in by pressing the button and you bring us in. So I thought everything remained the same.
I apologize. Brain's just not thinking about it. I apologize. That was my fault, everybody. We're good to go. Let's talk about DONDI. Let's talk about episode number 9.
Yeah, season 2, episode 9. This is called $1 Million Walk. Woo! It wasn't much of a walk. Because I know what they're talking. They're referring to the balance beam, and I think the balance beam was too narrow. I understand they wanted to get into the quicksand of it all, but like, shouldn't it have been remotely possible by one person?
That was insane. Like, I feel like Parvati said best. That was like a toothpick. Like, looking at that, unless you were a professional, like slackliner, who's walking that? Who is walking that? Like, it was insane to me.
Yeah, I didn't think that that was yeah. So is it just me, or is Parv turning into Moira from Schitt's Creek like by the second?
Kind of,
and
right?
And season 1 Moira that we don't like versus season whatever that we do.
Yeah, no, I completely can see the comparison. They're really feeding into these character types of being the parents, but I'm kind of over them parents. I just want them to play like David and Parvati that we know. Like,
I kind of hate the parents.
I hate it. I mean, it was funny for a minute, but now it's kind of just getting like kind of weird, right? Like, kind of,
yeah, it's creepy, it's annoying. Yeah, I mean, like, how does Edward from Twilight become the voice of reason? Dr. Will.
Yeah, Mr. Translucent Elf.
Yeah.
No, I love David and I love Parvati. I love watching both of them on reality TV.
I love David.
I know you do. I know you definitely have a preference there. But I will say this. I'm glad it had one silver lining with Dixon being gone. I feel like this story arc can kind of, now they can play as David and Parvati, you know, because now they don't have to feed that character.
I hope, but I'm scared we're going to get, mom and dad with empty nest syndrome, and we have to hear about that.
Well, anytime you see them on your screen, they're always like clinged all over each other, or Parvati's got her arm wrapped up around David. It's to the point where it's like, okay, like, we get it, but like, obviously they're not a couple. It's not a thing, but like, it's just giving off like weird coupley vibes, even though they're not. Like, David's married. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing. Like, because that's all you see of them. All you see of them is like almost like coupled up, but not coupled up. You know what I mean?
I would prefer them going at each other.
It's got to happen here, like within the next episode, because we had a bombshell dropped on us at the end of the episode.
Yeah, we got a double on the next one. So, all right. Well, the episode begins with Philip working out. I'm just like, hey, Philip with the airtime. Oh, we pan out. There's the Golden God working out too. Sorry, Philip. I really thought it was like his Olivia Newton-John like breakout moment. Let's get physical, and then it's just like, oh no, this is a team sport. Let's go.
It was kind of a weird episode for Philip, was it not? Like, I felt,
yeah.
It was just a strange episode. Like, he seemed to be in a funk the whole time. And I understand he was upset about being picked last.
Yeah, I think he's coming out of the funk, but the funk continues, and we like funky Philip, not in a funk Philip.
I mean, go back to the beginning of the season. Philip's a fun character. He's narrating a lot of the season. He's just a fun character to have around. And I feel like in the last episode or two, he's just kind of been in a funk, obviously, since the Parvati situation. And now this episode, you could really tell he was frustrated that he was picked last. And he even said it to David. He's like, I'm not in the headspace to go up against the banker. You could just see it on his face. And for a second there, when Letty was talking about who she was going to eliminate, I know we're going to get to it later, she was looking right at Philip, right? And saying all this stuff. And which is like, you could tell, I felt like he was seething, thinking that she was going to take him out. And then when he finally said that it was going to, or she said it was going to be Dixon, he started like, laughing and felt like a little bit more jovial about it. But I think for a second there, maybe it was just the way they edited that. I could see like the steam coming out of his ears, thinking that she was going to make a move on him, which didn't make sense at all.
Yeah, no. So, Letty says Letty sees she can't count on these people. You're right about that. Letty, you could have counted on yourself for the 3 excursions you won in a row and did nothing to help your game whatsoever in any of those.
Yeah, Letty really put herself in the position that she's in. Like when David told her like, oh hey, you're going up against the baker like you did to me, and it's like, yeah, you did the same thing. I can't really be too mad.
Yeah, and I don't think the move was right there. The move shouldn't have been the Golden God. It should have been I mean, maybe the move is the Golden God. I feel like I guess the move couldn't have been against Parvati because she's been safe 9 times in a row.
Yeah. All right. So should we start from the beginning and then work our way there? Because let's talk about it at the end.
All right. So, the Golden God asked Dixon, "Is he in chess? Is he the pawn or a knight?" He believes he's a knight. We shall see. Dixon is doing dirty deeds. I'm all for this. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap is a motto and a monicum we can all live by. He's giving Letty
Dixon.
Dixon's giving Letty a friendship bracelet and then planning on sabotaging her. And the friendship bracelet says Dondi Babe XOXO and their initials.
Okay. This had to be one of the most cringe moments I've had in reality in a while. Like it's up there with Andy from last season of Survivor talking about how no one cheered for him open coconut. Like, yeah, it was very, very cringe. And I love Dixon. Like, we just had an exit interview with Dixon. Dixon was great. Dixon came off way more sociable in our interview. So definitely check that out, guys. Definitely seemed like he had the social skills that maybe the editors are portraying him a certain way. And he even said it himself.
He was leaning in on
leaning into that awkward. Yeah. But I will say it was definitely cringe. Everyone was feeling, and the fact that Parvati and David are just standing there arm in arm, just like happy mother and father watching. It was weird. It was just an awkward scene. It made me feel so gross. I'm not gonna lie.
Was that equal cringe or more cringe?
More David cringe. 100% more cringe.
Yeah. Like as cringe as the bracelet was, that was more cringe.
I feel if they have just him talking to Letty on the pier, just the moment, it's a little cringe, but it's a cute cringe. The fact that you have like onlookers just staring you down and making it come across on TV even more cringe because they're like, oh, he's doing it. Just gave off way more cringe than it needed to be.
You know what's more cringe than that? What's that? It's Parvati doing an interview and holding her microphone, this exact same microphone, like a fucking vape. And it's just, it's just like, there's a fucking clip on there. Like, if you want to use the stupid tiny microphone that I hate more than life itself, use the stupid tiny microphone that comes out of there. But if not, it's not you don't carry it around like clip. Boom, I'm done. Golden God clipped his on, no problem. Parvati's here, like literally, it's just like, I don't know if she's got a fucking Razor cell phone or a vape. Oh no, it's her fucking Rode Wireless Pro that she just, let's just willy-nilly this. So sure production loved it.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So, what did
Yeah.
you think of the friendship bracelet? Did you think that it and why call it a friendship bracelet? You're automatically putting yourself in the friend zone if you're really trying to make a move. Like you kissed her on the hand, and you're putting yourself in a box here by saying, "Hey, this is a friendship bracelet."
I think he's
You
trying
should
to
say,
put
"Hey, no,
himself,
this is my memento to you."
I think he's trying to put himself in the box or in some box.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, in game, Avengers Endgame here. I think that's Dixon's plan. But yeah, no. I mean, I don't think it. I think friendship bracelet is a is a broad term for that style of bracelet. I don't think there. I don't think
Yeah,
it was the intent was quote unquote. But there's also plausible deniability. If she's like, oh, well, I don't think of you that way. It's like, yeah, it's a fucking friendship bracelet, not a I want to fucking marry you bracelet.
true,
So
true.
yeah,
Um,
I like the ease of walkout if it's not received as intended. So, but yeah, but uh, he's Dixon's telling us two different stories, and I like this because I feel Dixon is in possibly the best position of anyone on the island at this very moment.
Dixon was set
That
up.
one seems
He was
bad.
set up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
So
set up
and
in a perfect position.
yeah, so and he will either flip on the family or he will be in Queen Letty's army. I like this the two align like so the family we hate, but it's just like, oh, so do you want to be in Queen Letty's army? I'm like, well, that sucks too. Like Lachelle didn't have a fun name for something that was working against the family. Child
True.
Services. I bet that's the name of the rival fucking alliance. Child Services. CPS.
CBS for the win.
Yeah.
No, I will say
Finally, a
this.
good alliance name. We've gone on 3 weeks of the worst alliance names in the history of fucking television. So, calling you
Pull
out.
Dixon out of there. Yeah, I don't know how much the show would have gone for it, but yeah, I get what we're trying to do here.
CPS. You don't have to say what CPS stands for. Who's to say?
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Who's to say?
You know?
Thank you. MG would have liked that one. All right.
Something Philip Solomon. That's all you could say.
Yeah, we're good. CK Philip Solomon.
CK Philip Solomon. That's a CPS, but without the K.
Yeah. We have an out.
The K is silent.
We're good. All right. Well, it's excursion day. You know what that means? Rain, apparently. And this one's easy. You just have to walk across a narrow beam that's, I don't know, possibly an inch and a half. I'm sure there's someone that I did an appearance with last week that's a grower, not a shower, that could measure that for you. But walk across a very narrow beam with unmarked weighted cases over quicksand. And I'm just like, okay, the team that has been responsible for challenges season 2 is not the same team responsible for challenges season 1. Rumor and innuendo, first reality competition game show type deal they've done, maybe in a little over their heads as far as what they can really bring to the table versus, sure, we can do that, right?
Yeah.
I
There's been. Go ahead.
I have done, Bobby. I did Celebrity Fear Factor. There was a quicksand challenge, which is literally what led to that moment with me and Jonathan Baker and his wife and Joe Rogan. That's viral.
Yes.
I was in actual quicksand on an NBC Universal show, so NBC knows how to make quicksand. I didn't think quicksand was a real thing. Like, I honestly thought it was like, I'm just like, there's no such thing.
You thought it was made up?
Yeah. Did you think?
Oh, I've known it's real. I've known quicksand is real. Well, mainly for Bear Grylls, watching Bear Grylls go through quicksand and show how to get out of it. There's a lot of different techniques on how to get out of it, but it is crazy.
Dixon and I had the same method.
Okay.
doing it completely wrong.
Yeah. You gotta lay flat, but there's also another move too. You grab a stick or something and you put it, and it creates a suction, and you just push that stick forward.
Yeah, but there's no stick.
There's no stick. So I think David had the right move. Go lay flat.
Yeah, he got it. And apparently he's familiar with quicksand. We'll get there, but so yeah. So the quicksand's real, and I'm just like, holy shit. Like, So and also Dixon gets to go first because he was last. He was weakest in ranking last time, and he gets to choose the next person. So the red has one of the 2 highest values, but if you can't get your red case across, you're guaranteed to be in the bottom. Quicksand's real. Philip calls Dixon the wacky inflatable car guy, Dixon was literally.
It's true. It's very true. Although I will say this, I don't think that's actual quicksand, by the way. Like, just so everyone knows.
But whatever the stunt crew put together, or challenge department put together, was very comparable, and is literally what the Fear Factor people put together. And if you don't swim, do a swimming motion across it, just trying to walk, you are just putting yourself more and more deeper in it, and even less ability to move.
How do they pull you out of there? So, like Dixon, how did they get him out of there?
I eventually made it through.
Okay. So you made it through, but Dixon clearly didn't move an inch.
You just throw a rope and you have 3 people pull. For Dixon, maybe 1.5.
I mean, I feel like you're losing a shoe for sure in that.
Maybe.
You're coming out barefoot in that. It was just me watching that. I was like, I would take my shoes off. Like, that's just another added element that I feel like.
Oh, I've never wear. Yeah. If I'm the first person, I'm mistakenly wearing it because I'm just like, oh my god, these guys, they're not gonna be able to make real quicksand. This is gonna be easy. Fuck it, who cares? So, but after the first person, I'm not wearing my shoe, and I'm literally just jumping out like
as far as you can.
Dive, like run, dive out, diving style, hands out, and just attempting to swim walk across it.
I wonder if they were allowed to, but I was thinking just throw the case as far as you can, because the case is just an added thing for you to have to deal with, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can do whatever you want, because
like I was just
watching people use valuable seconds to attempt to walk. I'm just like, what are you doing? There is 0.0 chance anyone. Like I'm thinking there's tightrope people from the circus that can't fucking get across this thing. It's so narrow.
No, and it probably wasn't like the sturdiest either.
It didn't. Nothing looked great. Like it was basically swim. This challenge was swim through quicksand, but no one got the memo.
The thing that shocked me was watching forward, right? Watching after Dixon, because obviously Dixon's the guinea pig. After that, seeing each person, one, they all wore shoes, specifically looking for that, because I was like, I would not be wearing my shoes. 1, mud, no. 2, just your chance of losing them. Hell no. Second, I would have done exactly what you said. And every single one of them just went and tried maybe 1 or 2 feet and then just dropped right in front of where they're standing. I would have gone to the end of the platform, ran, maybe got a step or 2 on that twig, and then jumped as far as I can and tossed it in the briefcase forward.
Push the briefcase ahead of me.
I wonder if they weren't allowed to do that. They were just allowed to go as far as they were walked on the plank. That's the only thing I think of, because why did no one else think of that?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we did. I don't think anyone got to look until they got up there, because you kept seeing the reaction every time they actually got there. They're like, dude, go fuck yourself. Like that. So I'm thinking, if you could have seen how bad it was, you would have formulated that. But like in the brief second, they're just like, hey, when you go up, you go up, you're like, oh, this is, and it's like, okay, well, should I try? And so I think that no one really got how impossible this was.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Dixon goes first. He doesn't make it. He has to choose the next person. And he chooses David, and we see Letty trying to encourage his favor given the heart thing, and then once Dixon chooses David, she does the broken heart thing, and our host Joe says Dixon breaking hearts Dixon over here, and Dixon says, "Yeah, I'm used to it." I don't think Dixon's used to breaking hearts.
I forgot about that until you said it right now. Yeah, I don't think Dixon's breaking hearts. Look, I got Gatorade all over me after that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I totally forgot that you said that. So I will say this. Dixon, you'll see in our interview, ask him about it. He even knows he made a mistake here, right? Like, David was not the choice because you're part of the three. Everyone sees you as part of the three, whether you like it or not. Even though you have been putting on the moves on Letty, you've been trying to make those in routes. CK, Philip, those are whatever. You know that the move is not to go with the family because those are the two biggest targets in your alliance ahead of you. If you choose them and they succeed in this, maybe Dixon at the time was thinking, hey, I had trouble with this. Maybe they'll have trouble. No one else had trouble like Dixon.
No one had trouble but you. So, yeah. So they're safe. You're not. You're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
And you're vulnerable.
Yeah. So, no, the move was anyone but Parv or David with the briefcase. That's the only move.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And
so,
I think
play dumb. Just be like, oh, I thought if you could, whatever. Just figure out what to say that's not true. But so or just do the Letty, like, the Letty thing is just like, look, like, I like her, like, I'm with you guys, but I like her, and if I have a chance after this game and they're just like, you have no chance, what are you saying? You're saying I don't have a chance? I'm your kid. I have all the chances in the world, so use it against them.
Yeah.
But the move was anyone but the family. Because if not, like, this challenge is not as hard as Dixon made it look to be.
What do you think about Parv was like completely dead set that she wanted to get the red case? What do you think of David's move? By basically, he had the choice. He could have chose, hey, I'm taking the case. I'm taking the red case. You're going to take whatever's the highest value case or case, excuse me. And you're going to have all the power, and I'm just going to be at least safe. What do you think of David basically letting Parv having that option?
I don't think either one of them care because they're not worried about anyone else there.
It's very true. It's very true.
I think one of them's like, I'm going to do one, you do the other. Let's fucking flip a fucking coin.
I feel like they feel like if they can get ready, they've got the game to the final two.
Yeah.
And that's why they made the moves they did. It didn't work out for them in the end, but I think Letty's their biggest pound for pound threat.
I think Parv thinks if she can keep Philip in his own head, then he's subtracting himself as competition. CK is CK, and Dixon's collateral damage.
Yeah, I agree. So we can kind of yada each of them doing it.
Yeah,
all succeeded.
Well, CK did impale herself, and that was awesome. If I were not doing a podcast about this show or Survivor or the Traitors, any show that has a challenge, I would fast forward through the challenges because I don't care. And unless I see someone hit their balls on something, this is just as close as hitting your balls on something is CK impaling herself on the beam.
That was rough. Watching it in real. I'm so glad we didn't have to watch commercials on our end because we got to skip ahead. But watching that, I was just like, I need to see the replay, and I'm so glad
the replay could not come soon enough. I was so ready. Yeah,
I was so ready. I was thank there's no commercial interruption. I want the full effect right now, and it did not disappoint. Like, she went full on. Leg overhead on her back. Luckily, she didn't land on her neck. But
as the tea kettle, it was. Yeah, we were almost watching Botchamania, like wrestling fuck ups.
She took it like a champ, though. I'll give it to her. Like
Yeah.
she had maybe it was embarrassment, and then at that point the adrenaline's just kicking in. But that had to hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, and Joe is laughing his ass off.
Joe's on cloud nine. Knows that Joe has the best gig in all of the industry right now. He's on a beautiful island.
Joe's had his ups and downs as CK already, and he was just like, "Oh, this is fucking great."
You know what I love about Joe as a host, and I will say this: I think Joe is a great reality TV show host. Right? I really like him. One is I love all the little interactions that they give us with Joe and the cast members. We saw in season 1, seen it on season 2. The also thing I love about Joe is not afraid to show favoritism. And I feel like we got that with Probst at times, but Joe is very much like he loves the nerd archetype, right? We saw season 1, and now we see it here with Dixon, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm so bummed to see you go." Like, like he just shows his favoritism. And I, as a fan, I love that because I want the host not to be just robotic and just go through the motions.
That hint of unprofessionalism, I feel, it makes you more professional.
Yeah, I can, because you are a fan just like the rest of us.
Yeah,
and you're a fan like the rest of us. You have your favorites, but you have to run the show, and you're not afraid to call people out on their bullshit like you did with CK when she tried to cheat, and he's not afraid to say, "Hey, listen, I hope this person does well. I like them as a character, and I want to see them do well." Like I like that.
But instead of feigning concern for CK, he's like, "Oh my god, she ate ass. This is great." This is
exactly.
Well, when it's all said and done, Letty, Phillip, and Dixon are up to play the banker, but CK could still be backdoored, Big Brother term, if you will. And Mission P, which we're just now learning after the fact. Come on, guys, give us 90-minute episodes so we know what the hell Mission P was. Mission P was the chance to get rid of Parvati, to get Parvati out, and Dixie totally screwed it up.
Just absolutely fumbled at the 1-yard line here. What are your thoughts on it?
Dixon. Anyone but Parv or David was the next pick to go after Dixon once he had control of the order. I mean, that's all it is to it. So, well, Phillip says he's not in a good headspace. David says, "You're safe." And I'm like, "Great. Phillip's still here. I'd like him to be fun, Phillip, next week. Please. We're ready for it." And looks like it's Letty. Dixon is willing to play against the banker, but doesn't go 100% saying that. And he says if he does, he will take out CK. If Letty goes against the banker, she's going to take out Dixon to burn Parv and David. And I'm just like, I feel like everyone said what they need to say. And I feel like this is where Dixon screwed up, because Dixon told us he was 100% ready to play the banker. He did not say that. And if he did say that in some scenes that we didn't see, that's fine. I believe him. But in the scenes that we did see, which were not CGI'd, he was like, "I can, but." And when you put that out there, that is not 100%.
I think he really needed to push the narrative, David. He did not feel comfortable in the least bit without playing. And I feel like that came across. David was really banking that Letty was going to lose. Like, I feel like he felt like a loss was coming. He had that the odds were more in his favor if that was the case. And but at the end of the day, I feel like his best option for David was let Dixon play, because Letty wins, you lose Dixon no matter what. Dixon plays and Dixon loses, you lose Dixon no matter what. But if Dixon wins, then he can make the move. I personally think maybe David just didn't want to see, because he feels like he has a good relationship with CK, and he knew that Dixon wasn't going to take the shot at Letty. So his best option for David was let Letty play. Hopefully she goes home. Worst case, Dixon, but you could lose Dixon if you let him play anyways.
And you still have CK there. So,
I think he valued CK more than he did Dixon in that moment.
Yeah. So, well, it's the banker's temple, and you know what that means.
Yeah,
not a lot. She's going natural tones. So
Every week.
Every week. Sorry. Dixon is willing to take out Letty, allegedly. And I believe it's Letty says, anyone noticing this whole David Parv, or maybe it's Joe. Anyone noticing the David Parv connection? And I'm just like, yeah, the viewers kind of are. It's a little
lot. And I was shocked that the show actually showed that, because, and then CK being like, oh yeah, I'm in like the third wheel, like a hard third wheel. I'm like, what's that mean? Like, there's a lot of hidden innuendos with everything. And they didn't really brush it off. They kind of, Parvin and David really fed into it too.
It was a lot. So Dixon is the worst island boyfriend ever. Wow. Jeez. I thought that would have been me at Myrtle Beach, but I guess Myrtle Beach is not an island. So, there is that. There's a lot of you were the ones that were not the ones.
True.
Letty is chosen, and she will send home Dixon if she wins, and his blood will be on David's hands. And I was like, holy shit, this is everything.
It was. And I loved her approach to that, because she was laying her cards out on the table. Yeah. She's a woman of her word. What she says, she does. And she followed through.
She had her She-Ra Medallion of Power necklace thing on. I don't know what that was, but she was beautiful. She picked the number 2. That's her volleyball number. Our first number is 6. That's 500. Then 9. Then that's 100. 11. That's 1. She's killing it. Then she picks number 10. That's 2 million. Ooh, so close. The offer is 273,000. No one wants that. No deal. Then she opens up case number 1. It's 1.25 million. Case number 12 is 1,000. And I'm just looking right now, and I go, wow, Letty is hot. Just have it in my notes. Next, she chooses number 5 for 2.25 million, number 7 for 1 million. The offer is 599,000, and Dixon is scared, and rightly so. The next round is just one case. What are you going to do? No deal. She chooses number 8 for 2.25 million. The offer is 550,000. That's not that far off from the previous deal with losing such a high dollar case. So Dixon said he would make the deal. It is a 66% chance that it is a good deal. That's literally all you're asking for. Anything over 50% is the odds that you're looking for. Letty chooses deal. It is. She had 250 in her case. It is a good deal. And Dixon, sorry, Letty is a woman of her word, and you're going home. And Dixon said he played against David and a survivor best named Parvati. You might want to look that up when you get home, Dixon. You played against 2 of survivors best.
True.
And David explains he felt that he thought it was the right thing to do. Maybe not. I think you're okay, David. And it's the end of Temple. But wait, the phone rings. And that is a twist. Tomorrow's excursion, which by tomorrow we mean next week, of course, will be a double elimination.
Yes. And this was a bombshell, because this isn't what we had last season. We're going into this a completely different way. I love it. I think the elimination is a great call, and I think you bring it down to the final 3 for the finale. I'm assuming it's going to be the finale 2 weeks from now. But with the final 3,
hold on, I actually know when the finale is, so let's double check this.
Yeah. I will say this too. I don't know.
We have 3 more episodes.
Oh, so we're going to go 3 to 2.
I guess.
Or possibly we go, I guess we have to. So we're going to go from 5 down to 3, and then 3 down to 2, and then 2 will be the finale. And then obviously I think that means whoever plays the banker for the finale, the winner, I think that means that's going to go a long time, because the fact that they're only going to go down from 2 to 1 to banker, that means it's going to be a big banker game.
We could potentially see, maybe we see only one of the 2 eliminations next week. It's a double elimination episode, but we don't
Oh,
see
that
the
could be too.
finality of it because they've kind of conditioned us into that with not seeing the end of the CK against the banker.
Yeah, but I kind of hate that too because it's like,
We all
don't
hate
tell us
that.
it's a double.
Yeah, none of us like that.
The worst kind of cliffhanger that you can have because don't tell us it's a double elimination the week before and then give us technically only one elimination next week.
I'm with you. But as I said, what was the point of doing that last time? Other than to condition us to see that way.
Okay, and second off, I want to say this. It was very predictable what was going to happen with the whole CK thing. She's going to win because when they showed the next week on, you could see there were certain people missing if you really looked at the edit. I really hate when they do that. I think they're the worst kind of cliffhangers. Like I don't mind a cliff, right? Give us a cliffhanger on something tangible that's not game breaking. And I say that in a way where give us on a cliffhanger with some kind of big like reveal, like something that's going to happen next episode, like this. Like this was a good cliffhanger. Hey, next week's going to be a double elimination. Cool with that. Great. Don't leave us with one person's gone and got to see if the next person goes home next week. Like, don't give us that.
We've gone 4/5 through their cases, but we're not going to show you the last 2 cases. It's just like, well, we've already gone 4/5 of them. Just fucking finish.
Let us get the reveal. We're down to our final 5 though. We'll be down to final 3 real quick. Who you liking so far, and who do you think's got a realistic chance at this?
All right. I would like on the double elimination, no one but the person that chooses who goes against the banker to be safe. And if that person's not Parvati, this will be the first time out of 9 times in a row. This will be the first time she is up for elimination. If that's the case, and I have the opportunity to make a move against Parvati, this is when I'm making my move against Parvati.
Can I give a prediction on what I think is going to happen? Sure. I think they're going to do what they did earlier in the season because right now we have 2v2 with one in the middle, right? CK is kind of in the middle. I think what they're going to do for the challenge is one person's going to be safe / pick who's going to go up. And I think that person's going to pick 2 people to go up and face the banker. And either those people win or the other people go home. The other 2 non-safe people. And the only person safe is the one person that picked the 2 people to go up to play the banker. Yeah. So let's say it's CK, right? Let's say CK safe. She picks David and Parv. You 2 are playing the banker. You lose, you're gone. If not, Philip and Letty are gone. That's how I think it plays out.
Oh, okay. Then if that's the case, if I'm CK, I'm splitting up the family right there.
I could see it. I think
that strategically, you don't keep them. If they win, whether, they beat the banker or the other people don't, whatever, you don't want the 2 of them as a force in that final episode against you. You split up the family. So you put up either, Philip and David or Parv and whatever. So you split those 2. But yeah, I do like that. And I do love the idea of someone gets screwed on each side of the alliances.
Yeah. I think I
want a fair fight.
We're going to be, what?
I want a fair fight.
Yeah, I think we're going to be completely wrong that's not how they do this. Like someone goes home in the challenge and then someone plays the banker and loses. But I think if they did do it in this scenario, let's say David wins the immunity, right? And gets to pick 2 people.
Sure.
At that point, I feel like he has to put up Parv and Philip.
CK.
You think CK? Because I think that they're okay with CK going. Like I think that.
Well, no, I think if those 2 stay, I think he puts Parv with CK because he wants CK to stay, and then Letty and Philip would go if they lose.
But you're risking if Philip and Letty stay, then it's 1v2.
Well, it's you ask Parv, does she want to face the banker or does she want Letty? And like as I said, if it's 2 and 2 and the remaining 2, But as I said, if the person deciding is not the Golden God or Parvati, I think the correct move is to split them up if it's a 2-2 scenario.
Yeah.
You're crazy if you don't. I mean, you could fire
Yeah.
a shot to eliminate them both, but you know, shit usually
for
works out for the TV good people.
Very true. I'm trying to think of like each person's best case scenario, and it's a tough one. Like I feel like Phillips in a prime position, especially if he wins, because he can set it up perfectly like that. Like he only needs Letty to stay at that point, right? So he can set it up however he wants to make sure Letty's the one safe. I really think David and Parv are in the position where one of them's going to probably go home in this next episode. Like if this scenario is the one that comes true.
I like that scenario. I think it's a good way to do it.
But you know, who's to know? I will say this though, I'm loving this season. I think this is a great show. I don't know how we found out if it's been picked up for a season 3 yet.
I actually got an email from NBC yesterday saying these shows have been renewed, and there was a video, like it was the least efficient way to relay information of any email I've ever gotten in my entire life. And I literally tapped out after like 6 minutes. And I'm just like, the fact that I dedicated maybe 2 minutes, who's to say? But yeah, it was, so I feel like I just need to Google and see if it's been renewed. But yes, it was a little painful yesterday. And I was just like, why is this so difficult?
I'm just gonna type it in real quick and let's see. I don't see anything yet. So maybe some people will know out there in the comments. Let us know in the comments. Did season 3 get picked up, or are we still left on the cliffhanger, just like we are going into this next episode?
It's a double elimination, maybe series elimination. Who's to say?
Who's to say? But I'm loving it. I hope it gets picked up. I think it's a phenomenal game. I love it as much as I love the Traders, and I know the Traders gets all the buzz, but I think Dondi is right with one of the best reality shows out right now.
Yeah, this season's been a lot of fun. So Bobby, where can everybody find you on the socials?
You can find me at Goodsby Bobby on Twitter. You can hit me up on Instagram as well, at BG13SK8. Like I told you before, we need to change that because it's not very good for the algorithm. But I will get on that. Maybe I'll switch it to at Goodsby Bobby. But yeah, I'm loving this season, guys. Also, Johnny, we got Survivor. Survivor is here, and tonight's a Survivor episode. Looking forward to covering with you on that, and Matt and the guys, Matt and Wayne, really looking forward to it.
Survivor 48. Last week I was in Connecticut, Norwalk, Connecticut, with Richard Hatch, the Godfather, and so we watched the premiere and then did the podcast the next day. We are doing a podcast right after the show tonight. So join us here at Reality After Show Network. Click that subscribe button so you get an alert. We're doing Survivor 48. This weekend, I will be at Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, me versus Neil the Heel with Frank the Clown, Mick Foley's son-in-law, special guest referee. Only craziness can ensue there. So, yes, check out me versus Neil the Heel, villain versus villain, at Boca Raton Championship Wrestling this weekend in Boca. And then the 13th, I guess I'll get one more Survivor episode in, but the 13th of March, I am flying to Australia, and the 16th and 17th, I will be doing Australian Survivor viewing parties. I will be first in Sydney on the 16th of March, and then in Melbourne on the 17th of March. I'll be joined by King George and Ferris and Eden Porter and a ton of others. Lots of surprise people I'm not allowed to talk about because they're on this season. So yes, get your tickets now at survivortix.com. That is survivortix.com. Join me in Sydney and Melbourne, Australia. And get yourself a cameo. Right before we went live, Bobby, I just knocked out like 8 cameos. Thank you so much for the love. Apparently, I do really funny and really good cameos. Go to cameo.com/Jonny Fairplay. Links to everything at JonnyFairplay.com. And I think we're like a day away from a brand new realityaftershow.com website. So get ready for that. Bobby's been working behind the scenes tirelessly. He is just a little programmer that doesn't program. He's actually just giving notes to the people that do.
A lot of notes.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's good. It's looking really good. I'm very excited about this website. I think that it's going to be huge for us. Please check it out, because there was a lot of work put into this. A lot of people behind the scenes that did a lot of great work with this website. So check it out. Like and subscribe on our YouTube page. Check us out on Patreon. All of the above. You guys are amazing. Jonny, people can find you at Jonny Fairplay on all social medias. Mitch and Jonny, as you like to say. But yeah, and one more thing I just want to ask you. For your wrestling match, is there a way to watch it online or anything? Because I want to watch this.
I don't think they do live. They might check out Boca Raton ChampionshipWrestling.com, I believe. I know that after the fact they have episodes on YouTube, but there might be you might be able to watch live. There might be a live. This one's going to be crazy. I'm actually leaving here and heading straight to the gym. So I am taking this seriously. I have been putting in the work as my good friend Alex Trias likes to encourage us all to do. So get ready. I'm bringing the pain. This coming. I think it's Sunday night. So yeah, I can't wait.
Can't wait either. All right, guys, we will see you on the next episode of Dondi, and we'll have a double elimination. Can't wait to go over with y'all and check out our exit interview with Dixon. Should be posted here soon, and we love you guys so much. Check us out tonight on Survivor. Immediately after the episode, we'll be going live talking about the episode, and we will see you guys next week. See ya.
Bye, everybody.